I was woken by various strange mooing and bellowing sounds. I lay in bed wondering what on earth was outside. I could hear a great amount of shuffling in the grass. I climbed out of bed and rolled back the single large blind, which was all that separated me from the bush outside, and the hut had no windows, at least not the kind that had glass in them. Peering out, I beheld a most beautiful sight. It was full moon, and the moonlight was reflecting and glistening off the wet, muddy backs and horns of hundreds of buffalo as they grazed all around my little hut. A feeling swept over me, and anyone who loves Africa will recognize it, that feeling of being hopelessly enamoured and entirely captivated by the sights, sounds, and smells of the bush. Despite being far from home and very alone, I knew that the bush was where I belonged. Greg du Toit, from his book Wilderness Dreaming, an absolute pleasure and delight to read, totally captivating. He calls the bush his happy place. The bush makes me feel truly alive. His love for nature in all its forms comes out on every page, including the tough times he had to deal with, particularly when he started out as a young man with a lot to learn, especially how to tell the difference between cattle and buffalo spoor. He has a delightful self-deprecating sense of humour. Having a dream is one thing, fulfilling that dream is quite another, requiring total dedication, hard work, and an admirable tenacity. And Greg du Toit has shown that he had all those attributes. I should add, he is an excellent writer, making Wilderness Dreaming an easy read. Add to that also an outstanding photographer who has gone on to win international awards, including the BBC Wildlife Photographer of the Year. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, backtracking somewhat, from game lodges in South Africa and Botswana to a new lodge in the Rift Valley escarpment in the far south of Kenya, on the border with Tanzania. This was Shampole, in the heart of the Maasai land. Together with his young bride Claire, they applied and got the job to run this new lodge. Inexperienced staff from surrounding villages had never seen a knife or fork and no idea how to set a table. Training them was a priority. Another snag: language. Traditional Maasai don't speak Swahili, never mind English. To quote Greg again, Africa is a lot of things, but one thing it is not is boring. It was here that Greg showed his great talent as a photographer. It was here that his photographs of a lioness and how he captured his amazing shots that you realize the metal he is made of. I'm giving nothing away. You have to read Wilderness Dreaming by Greg du Toit. Outstanding writing with pictures. The front cover is a painting of him photographing the lionesses at the waterhole. Yes, he was that close. Wilderness Dreaming by Greg du Toit. Can't recommend it highly enough. Available at bookstores or direct from the publishers HPH Publishing.